another edition of the Contractor's Secret Weapon weekly podcast with your hosts, Dave Negri. This program is dedicated to helping contractors, remodelers, painters, roofers, roof cleaners, and business owners in the construction industry gain an unfair advantage over the competition. This program supplies you with information that the competition doesn't even know exists. This session brought to you by ContractorsSecretWeapon.com.
Before we get into the conversation with you, I just want to do a shout out to our sponsors who help promote Contractor's Secret Weapon and just some of the things that they have in store for you, our listeners. Hey, is your phone ringing enough? Do you want it to ring more with highly motivated and qualified buyers that contact you, the contractor, directly? No more waiting for the phone to ring. Just answer that phone. Best Home Services leads are dedicated to making your phone ring with motivated buyers that call you directly. There's no obligation to talk with them. Just go to ContractorSecretWeapon.com/money. Fill out the form to secure your discount on the setup fee. Do it today. This special will not last forever. Check them out at ContractorSecretWeapon.com/money.
Running a small business is no easy task, and I should know because I had a service company for almost 10 years. I am the founder of a software called Radius Bomb, and it's unbelievable. And for all the listeners of Contractor's Secret Weapon, we have a special offer for you to check out. If you want to send hyper-targeted, laser-focused, super personalized postcards to your exact prospects using a map while sitting in your underwear, then go to ContractorSecretWeapon.com/Radius Bomb, and we'll give you your first 100 postcards for free. Just go to ContractorSecretWeapon.com/Radius Bomb.
Hey, Dave Negri here with Contractor Secret Weapon. I just want to thank you for being here. You know, we do this all for you just so that we can help you grow your business, make it a little bit better. You know, it's those little micro things that can exponentially grow your business. And today I have Joe Burnich with us, and you are going to love him. He is a contractor, or was a contractor, and grew his business, became a web designer, and now he does web designing and SEO and pay-per-click for contractors only. So this is one of the cool things, and that's the reason that I brought Joe on today, is because he knows how you think, he knows what you're going through, and he's been through pretty much everything that you've been through, the different stages of growing your business, and I thought he would be fun to talk with. And today we're going to talk about 3 key, maybe 4 key elements that will help you get more conversions right now, today, or tomorrow, or the next day. But I just want to, let's welcome Joe. Hey, Joe, I just want to thank you for being with us today and giving us some great tips on web design and how to get better conversions. So I'm just going to let this go with you because I love to hear about the cool stuff that you're doing. And so thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you, Dave. Yeah, so this is my first time on your show. I just want to say thank you for contacting me and asking me to come on. That I feel very honored. And so today, I mean, I don't know where we want to start. I've got 3 simple tips that people can implement today that can easily double the conversions on a website. So if you're getting traffic to your website and you're getting, let's say, 3 calls a day, implementing these simple tips that I'm going to explain right now could get you double that. Cool. That's kind of what I want to talk to you about. And today.
Most of the time, they can probably do a lot of that themselves.
Some of it you can do yourself. Some of it you'll probably have to have your web designer do it. It just depends on what your abilities are. Some people do their own website, so they have full access and can do stuff like that. So yeah.
And I'm going to say, guys, if you don't have a website, then we're going to give you all of Joe's contact information in the end.
Nice. Nice.
So what's number 1? What's the number 1 first simple step?
Real quick, before we get into that, could I share a quick story?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So I just want to let everybody know where I come from and why I'm into this whole internet marketing Google game. Because I know that guys like me get a bad rap, kind of the used car salesman type vibe, because there's a lot of just scammy stuff out there. But my story is I moved from Kansas City to my original hometown of Missoula, Montana, where I live right now, in 2009, and I didn't have a job, but I had a 10-month-old baby and a new wife, and I had to feed them. Out of desperation, a family friend talked me into starting a cleaning business because easy startup, don't need a lot of training, don't need a lot of capital to start up. And so I never thought I'd be in that, but I just ran with it, took a couple $1,000s that I had left and ran with it. And basically what I did was I taught myself how to get a website ranked up on Google, not knowing if it would be profitable or whatever. But I mean, I've spent hours a day for months on end.
I'll bet.
And yeah, I mean, up at 4:00 in the morning, if I wasn't working, I was on the computer trying to figure this out because I had a friend that was doing it and he was selling like cell phones or something on the internet, and everything was done by Google rankings, by SEO.
Wow.
And so he showed me some tips, and then I just studied, and it was tough because I was, I had a website and the calls were not coming in. I didn't know really anything about marketing. I was out there handing out flyers and business cards and doing all that, just struggling, not knowing if I was going to ever make it. And so, but the cool part was that it took about 4 months, but once I did pop up into like the top 3 on Google, my phone started ringing, and that's when I kind of decided, okay, this is something I can do, and this is something that's really going to feed my family. It was all about taking care of my family, and a lot of guys can probably relate to that, especially the guys that are just getting started, or if they're going through a slow season or whatever. There's just that fear of, is this business going to make it? And for me, it was Google, and I know other people have other things that they use to get calls coming in. Maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's just having an awesome network that they built up over the years, whatever it is. And so I'm not here to say that Google is the only way and internet marketing is the only way to do this. I'm just saying for me, it saved my family. So I've got like a soft spot for Google.
That makes sense to me. But it's just another tool, really.
It really is. And so, and that was in 2009. And so I got into just helping a few other people doing it here and there. And now, in 2018, in 3 days at least. Yeah. I've got 4 employees. We've done over 850 websites in the service contractor niche in the industry. And so in over the years, talking to people and just testing over and over, I've figured out some simple things that most people are not doing with their websites that really can blow the phone up, that can really get the phone calls coming in, which is what we really all want. It's nice to have a pretty website that makes, impresses people, but if it's not bringing in the phone calls, then who cares, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So I believe in having beautiful professional websites, but to me, that has to go hand in hand with conversions. So that's what I want to talk about is conversions, how to get people to pick up the phone and call you once they do hit your website. Dave, tip number 1 that I'd like to give people is something that is very simple, but I still see more than half the people out there especially in the service industry, construction industry, they're still not doing this. And what that is having a big, bold phone number at the top of every single page of your website. I still go out there and look at websites that have the phone number like down in the text, down in the middle somewhere, or it's down in the footer, or even have to click on the Contact Us page to even find the phone number.
Right.
And so it's so huge, so important, and so easy, such an easy tweak to just put it nice and big at the top of every page. And then in addition to that, put a simple call to action, something like call now for a free estimate, or 24-hour service. If it's an emergency type service, you could do 24-hour service, call now, something very simple. There's been multiple studies that say if you have the words call now next to your phone number, it'll actually double the people that actually pick up the phone and call.
Well, people like to be told what to do.
They really do. Yeah, I've talked to people. They're like, no, I got my phone number on there. People know what to do.
No, they don't.
And yeah, they don't. It's a subconscious thing. It's not like they're thinking this through. But having that, and then another little tidbit to go along with this tip is if you stand 10 feet back from your computer, if that phone number isn't something that jumps out, then it's not big enough, it's not bold enough. So you can do things like kind of change the color to contrast with the rest of the website. So if you got lots of blues and greens in your website, make the phone number orange. Stuff like that. It really, really works. I mean, after working with 850 plus clients, I can tell you that people that have those big phone numbers like that are the ones that are getting more calls.
Yeah.
It's just, it's amazing.
You've got it down to a science now. This works, this
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Let's not mess with it.
Exactly. And a lot of web designers out there that are amazing award-winning web designers will make that mistake over and over and over because they're looking to impress people with the visuals and not the conversions. So
right, you're looking at it from two different aspects. You're looking at it from the contractor's point of view because you were one, and they're looking at it from the designers that this has got to be pretty.
Yes. And if you can nail pretty and convert, then you're going to be way ahead of the competition because 9 out of 10 guys out there don't have both of those nailed. So that's tip number 1. So anybody who's listening to this, if you can get a hold of your web designer, or if you built your website on Wix or whatever you did, however you got your website set up, do everything you can to get a big bold phone number at the top of every page with a call to action. That would be my number 1 tip that I can give today. And then number 2, okay, and this was something you and I were talking about before the podcast started here, Dave, is so we all know that smartphones are here to stay. They're not going anywhere. Everybody uses them all the time, especially in this type of business. And what we're all accustomed to is hitting little buttons on our phone. So my suggestion is that when somebody's looking at your website on a smartphone, is you don't just have the phone number, but you have the phone number in a button. So that and then you can even add a call to action to that as well. Like on all the websites we do, we have a phone number in a button that says tap to call. Okay, and have that at the very top. Okay, don't make people look for the phone number. Don't make them scroll down to find the phone number. Don't put the phone number in tiny little text somewhere. Make it into a button because they're already addicted to hitting buttons all day long on their phone. That's all they do.
And you're telling them
icons or they go exactly, and then you're saying tap this, and then it'll just and have it go straight to a phone call. Okay, because like we said at the beginning, we want to get phone calls. We don't want to just impress people. We want to get that phone ringing so we can close the deal. So that's number 2. Now, Dave, you brought up an amazing point that most of the clients out there, most of the decision maker comes to service factors, whatever it may be. In this type of industry, it's the woman that makes the decision. She is the decision maker in these types of transactions. She's going to give the go ahead. She's going to pick who they're going to work with, who's going to do the work for them. And so that's going to go right into my next tip. But you brought up a really interesting point: is why not have, in addition to a call now button, have a like a tap to text button. So you got my wheels turning, and now I'm going to go out there and grab my web developer here. Leah and I are going to get together. We're going to figure this out. We're going to make a text button and start implementing it on websites and start doing some major testing because as you brought up, Dave, females tend to text more than call. They would rather text a potential vendor or potential company than pick up the phone and have a drawn out conversation, right? I mean, wouldn't you agree?
I would agree. And as I think we talked earlier, like, my daughter and your wife, they got kids. The phone rings. They're not going to run and pick it up. If it texts and they see it, then they'll take the time or, to text back, but it's not part of their world. And there's a lot of times where women are at work and they're on their phone and they can't call because of they may be in an area where they can't call, but they can text. There's so many variables that, and you get into a loud. Let's say you're looking at an ad on your phone in a waiting room, or something like that. You're gonna wait forever to call. You're just going to, oh, if I can text, boom, let me do this. Can I get an appointment? Or like we were talking about somebody with this the other night. Well, like 7 o'clock at night, nobody's going to answer the phone, but what if they got a text? You know that they would answer it first thing in the morning.
And I always tell people it's good to have like a little form that people can fill out for that exact reason, because they don't want to call at
Right.
8 o'clock at night or whatever. But you got me thinking, why not add a text button? That could replace the form pretty easily. So we're going to be doing some major testing here in 2018 based on your that little seed that you planted in my mind. So
cool.
I appreciate that. I want to give you.
So we'll have to have you back in about 6 months after you run your test, and you can give us the stats on that.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Be cool.
So that kind of goes right, but that kind of is a good segue right into the third tip that I want to talk about, which goes right along with, we are marketing to females primarily. Okay. And so what I see a lot of people do on their websites is they'll have a lot of pictures of, their equipment,
right,
their trucks. A lot of the wording on the websites is very, very technical, and that doesn't speak to the average female out there that's going to make the decision, the one that's going to basically fork over the money.
Right.
She wants to know what her house is going to look like when it's finished. She wants to see smiling kids. She wants to see, whatever the service is, she wants to see the end result. So
even other happy women smiling on your webpage. Come on.
Exactly, and testimonials from other women that are like them, similar ages and similar family situations, whatever it may be. So I would highly recommend that if your website is dominated by stuff that appeals to you or to competitors or men that friends, whatever, then you really need to rethink that and start adding make it a little bit softer is kind of what you need to do, and make it more happy and like end result as opposed to technical, logical. Just the male mind and the female mind respond differently to different things. Right. We all know that.
And here's an interesting, if I can just say, here's an interesting thing for you guys that are thinking, well, that's really not going to make a difference. I'm going to tell you that if you're in a sales situation and you're there with the woman and the guy, and you sell to the guy, and the guy likes you and the woman doesn't, you've lost. You are not going to get the job, no matter how much she goes, yes, yes, yes. She's going to say no, no, no. And, my philosophy, I've been married I'll be 41 years this year. My philosophy has been happy wife, happy life.
Yep. And that goes for your marriage, and it goes for the client's marriage as well. So
it does, yeah.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking back to when I had my service business, and there's several times when I just thought I nailed it. I nailed that job. The guy loved me, this and that, and I guarantee I lost it because the wife was like, nope, for whatever reason.
You talked to the guy, and you didn't.
Yeah, he got the attention.
The woman. I had this one years ago. It was hilarious. I had a client. We did a lot of painting, and he called me over and to look at the house, to do some stuff, and they old school. I mean, really old school. This was guy with his wife. It was one word answers. With me, we would hold a conversation. He was very Lithuanian, very old school. So I go, so Tony. So his wife goes, Tony, I want to get. Next time we paint the house, can we paint the outside just a little tinge of green? No. So I go, Tony, you don't you understand? How long have you been married, Tony? How long have you been married? Many, many years. I said, okay, do you not know this? He goes, know what, Dave? Happy wife, a happy life. And I mean, man, her eyes got as big as saucers. I mean, just got huge. And Tony goes,
wow.
Okay. So we go inside, and we're just talking, and she goes, Tony, this house hasn't been painted in 15 years. I want to paint this house, the inside, for your birthday. Tony's response, no. I said, Tony, didn't you learn anything outside that we talked about? He goes, okay. She got the house painted.
You got the house painted and the exact tinge of green that she wanted too, I bet.
Wanted, yeah, everything that she wanted. But, it's so important to come to that realization that who are we selling to? And, it's kind of funny. It really is.
Yeah. And what's crazy is I've noticed too, like if you take that website and show your wife, a lot of times she won't be thinking in terms of a client. She'll be thinking in terms of, I'm one of the business owners. So it's kind of dangerous to ask the wife. I've found in many cases, not all of them, but many cases, the wife having somebody that's really close to you give you feedback on the website is not always the best way. You need to have a third party that doesn't really have much connection to you tell you what they think of the website. That's another thing. Yeah. Because just the other day we have a roofer who was like, well, I don't want to put the phone number at the top of the website. I want to only have it in like tiny little text down in the footer of the website because my wife thinks it looks tacky at the top. And she wasn't thinking from the point of view of like, what if I was actually a female out here looking to hire a roofer? Right. I want to get a hold of this guy. If they don't find that phone number on your website in 3 seconds, they're gone.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah, exactly. So it's such a big deal. Okay, and so that's it. That's my top 3 tips. I mean, I've got other things too, as far as like getting online reviews, how important that is, and how that can boost your conversions. And there's lots of little things beyond that. But that's the top 3. That's definitely 3 things that you or your web designer can implement like now, especially for the new year. Get going for 2018. Get that new website. Get the website revamped, freshened up, and ready to convert. Not just be pretty and rank, but also to convert.
Yeah.
And so that's what I got. And I don't know if we were going to talk about this right now, but I wanted to make sure that your audience gets a special if they ever wanted to do anything with us.
No, let's do that now. We can do it again later on. I always like to promote our guests and what they have to offer and how they can help our community, because this is all about helping other guys become more profitable, being better at what they do, so that they can spend more time with their families.
And so I want to make sure. So for the next couple weeks, I would love to give all of your only the listeners, $300 off any web design package that we have, and but they just need to mention this podcast, and then we'll make sure that $300 is taken off. So this is not, and it's only for a couple weeks. I want to make sure that this isn't forever. And so we can get a link set up, or if people just want to go to generalcontractorwebsites.net, they can find us there, or just give me a call at 406-493-1881.
Okay, great. And we'll put all that in the show notes when we get everything up and at that point. And what we'll do is we'll put off in the show notes. We'll put off a cutoff date. Let's say 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however you want to do it. We'll just put in a cutoff date, and from that point, so everyone knows that. So what I like to talk about Google reviews a lot, because I think that's important. I know that you do too. From a standpoint, that's probably would be number 4, wouldn't it? Or one of the high numbers of.
Absolutely, and it may even bump in there in some cases anyway. Bump into the top 3, just because of the fact and the way that I look at Google reviews and other tip reviews. Angie's List and Yelp and everything, but Google's still the big one. Unless you're on the West Coast, and I know Yelp can overtake Google a lot of times when it comes to the review game. But the way that I look at online reviews is they literally are the new word of mouth advertising.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole idea of, tell all your friends and then have them call me and all that stuff, that still exists. But there's a whole nother online version of that, and that's basically, it's just reviews. I mean, how many people listening to this have read an Amazon review before actually clicking the buy now button?
Right. Everyone
you know what I mean? Yeah, and a lot of times you don't think that it applies to your business the same way, but I'm going to tell you right now, I got a guy up in Portland. He's got a 5-truck operation, does a lot of like water damage restoration,
Uh-huh.
stuff like that. And he used to have like 8 or 9 reviews, and his competitors were right around there, like 5 to 10 reviews, something like that. Well, he got busy and decided, you know what, I'm going to make reviews big in 2017. And so now he's got like 89 reviews, and the guys are still back there
Wow.
at like 9 or 10. And he says he literally doesn't have to do any more selling over the phone. It's not about,
Right.
my prices versus their prices anymore. It's about you had the most reviews online,
Yep.
and these are all genuine reviews. He doesn't do any. This guy's above board. He doesn't no fake reviews or playing
Yeah,
any
that's
games
kind of
like
crazy.
that.
It's really easy to get reviews, and it's kind of funny. I just did a podcast not too long ago with a contractor in South Carolina, and he grew his business basically by Google reviews. He said it was kind of interesting when he first started his business. It was mostly referrals. He'd get like 75% referrals, and 25% would be from reviews and stuff like that, because he went out of his way to do the different. He started with the Google reviews, and now he's got. Last I checked, he had 55 reviews, and he said the numbers have turned. He said 75% of my business comes from the Google reviews, and 25% comes from referrals now. That's
Yeah,
how.
it's amazing. And
Yeah.
all you got to really do is ask. Now,
Yeah.
I have another tip based on that, because a lot of times people will say, well, like only like 1 out of 10 people will actually, that say they're going to actually follow through and do it.
Well, yeah, but you got to do more
And
than
so,
ask.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so
it's like that call button. Push here to call.
yes,
Yeah.
make it easy for them, make it brain dead easy for them. And
Yeah.
so the best way that I found to do that is to, once again, we go back to texting,
Uh-huh.
is to basically give them a heads up, say, hey, do you mind if I send you a text to get some feedback on how we did?
Right.
And most of the time they're going to say yes, like 95% of them are going to say, oh yeah, no problem. So what you can do is get on your phone. This won't work on your computer. You got to get on your phone and search your business and find your Google page. Okay. Once you're on the Google page, you click on reviews, and then it'll it'll let you choose the amount of stars.
Right.
Okay. So you click on star number 5, and that's it. That's all you do on your own business, on your smartphone.
Okay.
It has to be on a smartphone. And so all 5 stars are gold at that point. All right. Now what you do is you tap up into where like the website address is.
Right.
And you click copy. You have it highlighted, and then you click copy. All right. Now you go and send a text, and you paste in that exact address. It's a big, long, obnoxious website address, but that will take them directly when they click on that. When they get the text and they click on that, it'll take them directly to the Google page with the 5 stars filled out. Now they can change it and put less stars if they want, but it's one less step that they have to take. And so then they're just at the point where they're just typing in, the actual experience they had. But that little tip right there, texting over the actual Google link that takes them already just right to the place where they can start typing, is going to increase the amount of, reviews you get. So if you're getting 1 out of 10 by asking right now you're going to get like 9 out of 10.
Well,
easily.
that's because you're doing it for them in a sense.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And that's the key thing is, we all want more business, but we think that it's going to be easy. Sometimes it's easy, but we have to work at it.
Yes.
And
yes.
I was reading some stats not too long ago, and the funny part was that 90% of the people who go to the internet to look up check reviews, but only like 40 to 50% will actually write a review.
Yep.
So, so you got to work a little harder to get what you want. That's all. That's really what it boils down to, which is nice. And yeah, the reviews are just awesome. And I just, it's kind of cool on how easy it is. You just, send it and they'll do it. And if they don't do it right away, then you do it one more time. And just say, hey, and you don't bug them, but maybe just do it. Hey, you know what? I know you've been busy. And we had talked about this. I just wanted to send this to you again. If you have time, please do it. If you don't, that's okay.
Yeah, and the key time to do it is right when you have that conversation with them at the very end of the job, and they've got those good warm feelings about you. Those will fade quick. Like a week later, they're still happy with you. It's not like they dislike you, but they don't have that. Oh, I want to help this person, because people do want to help, especially if you do an amazing job for them. They want to, but they don't want to have to go find your website or go find your Google page or Yelp page or what. They don't want to have to do all that. Most people anyway. So the easier you can make it for them, then the better chance you're going to get. And it's all about just getting into a routine, getting it in. The guy in Portland said what he does is he makes sure that all of his technicians are the ones that actually initiate that text. And then he gives them like a $25 bonus for every 5-star review that comes in that they requested.
Well,
so
that sweetens the pot and makes it a lot nicer for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, one review is it was worth, is gold. One 5-star review is gold. So $25, he looks at it as I'm paying $25 to get a review, and that review is easily going to make me 10 times that over the next year.
Oh, easy.
So
yeah, he's just placing gold in the pot is what he's doing.
Yep. Yeah.
That is so cool. Yeah, I know of a carpet cleaner that was doing Facebook reviews. He would actually give them if they would do it while they were still there and leaving, he would give them a Starbucks coffee card.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to be careful with bribes. Like Yelp will shut down your account if they find out about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Google and Facebook, Google says not to do it, but I've never heard of them cracking down on it yet.
Well, how would they
Facebook's pretty open now. Yeah.
I mean,
people in Yelp for some, I've heard of people getting shut down in Yelp. So Yelp figures it out somehow. I mean, they ask.
They get so many and stuff like that, depending on the trade.
Yeah, and they've even gotten to the point. Yelp's even gotten to the point where they've said you're not even allowed to ask for a review. So Yelp is a different animal.
That's crazy.
It's not cool. Yeah, there's a lot of angry people out there at Yelp right now. So.
Well, yeah, and I think it's. I was listening. Somebody told me the other day that Yelp is tied pretty much to Bing's reviews. All come from Yelp. Is that true?
Oh, really? I've never heard that. I have not heard that.
Yeah, that's high. Yeah, so they pull your reviews out of Yelp and stuff like that. Now, something I did hear this morning that was kind of interesting. I don't know if you knew this. Was Home Advisor bought Angie's List.
I did not know that. Wow.
Just went through like 2 weeks ago.
I wonder how that's gonna play out.
All right, if they don't change the name, but nobody likes Angie's List and nobody likes Home Advisor, so I don't think it'll.
They've got some enemies, that's for sure.
Yeah, they do, because they just don't do things right. But that's neither here nor there, and we're not going to go there.
Right.
Yeah. So hey, no, this has really been awesome. Is there anything that you've been burning in the back of your mind that you say, well, I need to get this out? Do you want anything additional you want to share before we close out this show today?
The only other thing is I do have a book that has 150 pages of all of this kind of stuff. It's basically where I just did a mind dump and put everything I know into book format. So if people want to get that, they can get it on Amazon. It's like 17 something. If you want to get it for free and just pay the shipping and handling, I'm giving it away right now. Just go to servicebusinessmoneymachine.com. That's the name of the book, Service Business Money Machine, How to Turn Your Website into a Virtual Money Machine.
Cool. Yeah, matter of fact, I've got my book on the way. So, guys, I ordered his book, so we're in good shape.
Nice.
And we'll put that in the show notes, like we said. And then one more time, let's run your special again since we're at the end. And so we'll have that at the very end again.
Yeah, so we've been talking about website stuff today. So what I want to do is if you're looking to get a new website or revamp your current website, we're going to take $300 off for the next couple weeks. We'll set the exact date on the show notes like you were saying.
Yeah.
But this is only for people that are listening to this. So you have to mention that you listen to the podcast, and that's the only way you're going to get the $300 off special. So if you're looking to get a new website for the new year, then we'd love to talk to you about it. And if we decide that we're not a good fit for each other, then that's fine. I'll still give you a free consultation with lots of tips and little things you can do to improve your website anyway. So
that'll be awesome. So give us your contact information again.
Okay, so you can go to generalcontractorwebsites.net.
Okay.
Or you can just call 406 493-1881.
Awesome. Joe, thanks so much. This has really been great having you on the show. Little tips and tricks on how to get everyone more business, and I thank you, for making that offer to our listeners. And guys, listen, really take advantage of it if you need to, or call Joe, see what you need to do. But one of the things that I was impressed with, overall, is that Joe was a contractor. He thinks like a contractor. He knows, how you guys think. He knows what you're going through, and he's been in your shoes. So and he only deals with contractors. He's not trying to make one everything fit. So we're in good shape. Joe, again, thanks so much for being with us today.
I love it, Dave, and I hope to come back in 6 months and we'll talk about that text button we've been.
Yeah, that'll be a blast. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right, Dave. You have a good one. Happy New Year.
All right. Happy New Year. Thanks. Again, I want to thank you for joining us and investing your time with us today. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and if you did, go to iTunes and give us a shout-out. You can also go to our website, www.contractorsecretweapon.com, and check out today's episode and leave us a comment in the bottom of the page. And if you haven't gotten your 15 secret weapon strategies to getting higher-end customers, get it while you're at the website. Also, I want to thank again our sponsors for keeping this podcast alive, for your profit-making pleasure. And so go be profitable this week. Work smarter, not harder, and learn how to leverage your time and your knowledge so that you can be more profitable. Again, see you next week.
Thanks for joining us for another weekly episode of the Contractor's Secret Weapon Podcast with Dave Negri. We would love to hear your comments about this episode, so visit us online at www.contractorsecretweapon.com and let us hear your thoughts. If you were listening via iTunes, please leave us a positive review. The more positive reviews we receive, the more other contractors will benefit from this show. Thank you, and see you next time here on the Contractor's Secret Weapon Podcast.